Yo,
Happy day after 4th of July, Independence Day. Hope you guys
dude.
are all hopefully having a good time, or at least saw some good fireworks yesterday. Reed, what'd you do? Did you do anything yesterday?
Uh, yeah, I went to my in-laws' house and I um went in the pool and I grilled and then I came home and I was in bed at like 8:30. I saw like half a firework show out my window and that was it.
I was in bed by 10:30, but I too was grilling outside, um, and I was quite disappointed because I was I pulled up an article here at Navy Pier. Usually they do fireworks, and I read this article. They said it's at like 9 p.m. and I kind of skimmed through the article and didn't realize that literally the first sentence said um, Navy Pier is not doing their annual extravaganza for the fireworks, and so I was a
Why?
little bit bummed out. I don't know. Like supposedly Navy Pier is the number one fireworks show for 4th of July in the country.
Is this like a we can't have nice things situation where
Oh,
something happened and they like have taken away the privilege for everybody? It's basically like an elementary school thing.
I have no idea. I think they still are going to do it, but it defeats the whole purpose of it being on 4th of July. And it was a really nice. It's the day like it was super shitty in the beginning of the day. It was like super gloomy. Didn't want to go, um, and but then later it cleared up, so it was a little bit better. Um, but yeah, so that was kind of a bit of a bummer. But anyway, this week we're gonna keep the episode uh, short to 30 minutes. We probably a lot of people are out anyway, but um, wanted to,
Yeah. What's there to talk about? Is
well,
anything happened this week?
yeah, there was something pretty interesting that happened. I think it was either yesterday or the day before, but I think maybe you saw that Crawley got awarded a gigantic $2 billion freight contract from the federal government. Um,
Crowley?
Crowley, yeah, and I think that's the biggest freight contract ever awarded, period. And we included it in our newsletter just this morning. Let me pull this up real quick. Hold
Yeah, looking at
on.
it right now.
It's pretty, yeah. I mean, $2 billion, like that's what? How long do you think that's? How much freight do you think that is?
7 years.
7 years, probably.
Military. It's like a military contract.
Yeah. So Crawley awards a $2.3 billion contract. Crawley's Jacksonville base, which I actually didn't know that. But let's go to that story. Hold on.
Is it all? I mean, Crowley's like maritime. I mean, they're like a shipping line too. I wonder. I
Yeah,
wonder if
there.
it's just. Is it just? Is it just trucking? I mean, these pictures are. Oh, they're just pictures, but
Let's just go. So let's go through this because I actually didn't. I didn't get a chance to read. Jerome wrote the kind of the breakdown of it. I just went over the newsletter this morning, but so it seems like it's under the Defense Freight Transportation Services Program (DFTS). Um, and this contract follows the original DFTS contract that they got awarded in 2017, which was already
it's
one of
the
the largest.
same. It's the same dollar amount. The 2017 one is 2.3 billion as well.
Really?
And yeah, very.
Okay, so they basically re-upped it, and that would basically make it what, a 6-year program? You're pretty close then.
No,
Six
it
years with
was
a,
seven. It was seven. It's. I mean, I'm looking at a G. I'm looking at a G Captain article. I figured it would be maritime, so I went here, but I guess it's their logistics group. I know they have a brokerage. Um,
They have a brokerage, maritime. Okay, yeah. So they do. So the DFTS program covers all forms of service transportation. So it basically goes from all the continental U.S., Alaska, and Canada, and includes LTL, FTL, expedited, rail, cross docking, and warehousing. So I guess nothing international um, in this, but let's see here. Crowley has significantly invested in diverse small businesses, exceeding 600 million in contracting. I wonder how much of a margin like they're making on that $7 billion. Is Crowley a public company? Let's see.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe it is. Yeah.
Nope, doesn't seem so. Maybe they went public and then private or something. Not sure, but yeah. So that was pretty big. So let's see, Biz Transportation. Biz Transportation, I guess, is going to be one of the service providers for this.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just like
Anyway, so that was one
good
big
for them. What else happened?
Okay, so we had an internal discussion about this, but so Torque Robotics, which is owned by Daimler Trucks, they announced plans for driverless trucks by 2027. And internally today, I was like, I was just curious, like, how many have they adjusted this timeline before? And I feel like that these timelines are going to continue to keep getting pushed out because I originally believe it was supposed to be this year. Maybe not for Torque, but definitely for some of the other ones. However, I think it was for Torque. So I don't know. When do you think they're going to go? When do you think we'll see the first driverless truck? Maybe we've seen.
I guess it just totally. I don't know. I mean, when are we going to see the first driverless truck do an actual load just down the highway from A to B to like a relay point?
Yeah. What would be impressive to you? Like how many miles you think?
I mean, that would be cool to me if a driver like could if it could be almost like a LTL network where you have a bunch of people doing pickups and then you have like just a drop yard off the interstate where they just leave the trailers and then like the autonomous truck takes it and drives it to the closest drop yard near the destination and then drops a trailer in there and then a driver picks it up and delivers it. I mean, that's like impressive enough to me.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
great.
especially if the trucks I mean, I don't know if it's going to be like literally there's no driver in the truck for that for I don't know when that's going to happen. I have no idea. I have no clue. But like if it gets to a point where theoretically like there doesn't have to be one and it's like can operate 24/7 and it can reduce the transit times, you know, cross country transit times.
Yeah.
That's like I mean, that's pretty cool. But I'll be honest, I don't really I don't really pay much attention to this stuff.
It's not. It's. I don't think. I mean, I don't pay attention to it as much, maybe like on the driverless truck side, except for what gets announced, publicly anymore. I used to, obviously, but um, but yeah, I don't too
I
much.
will say I did do the full self driving in a Tesla like last week, and
Oh yeah. Okay,
it
how'd
was
that
pretty
go?
cool. It was
How'd
pretty
that go?
cool.
So, okay, here, let me ask you this: what was your expectation versus what you actually, what
Yeah,
you?
I mean, I really, it just does seems too good to be true that you can like key in an address and just press a button and you just go. Yeah, but it was cool. I mean, it even handled like some bad construction that wasn't on the map, um, which I was kind of nervous about, but no, it did it.
Yeah, it gets.
It's pretty
Usually,
impressive. I mean,
I
I
use it
just
all the time. I mean, probably for 99% of my driving, unless I'm in a hurry,
yeah.
uh, then I'll drive myself. But if I'm not like in a hurry or anything like that, like I'll just cruise and it works. So because otherwise it's like sometimes it just goes the speed limit, and I mean it's cautious at least, but and safer I guess technically speaking. But anyway, good morning Rob, and then hello Antonine, and we got Gina has a comment about Crawley. Crawley's been
What's up
winning
with
that.
this hurricane? Let's look up this hurricane. See what's going on with it.
You got anything to pull up?
Yeah, let's just see. What's it called? Barrel hurricane. I think that's what it's called. Makes landfall in Mexico.
I wonder, is it supposed to be pretty bad once it reached
It
Texas?
says South Padre Island, so right on the border with Mexico. Late Sunday night. Category 1.
Okay, so it's gonna die down at least by that point.
I guess, yeah.
But that means a pretty big. What is it? Probably in a week. Everything between Texas and Chicago is gonna get rain for like a
Probably gonna
straight.
bring some weather, yeah.
Yeah, for a straight week probably. Let's see what else. Yeah, so roughly around Sunday, it should hit Texas. Sunday night should hit Texas. Yeah, that was hold on. Somebody commented about the auto did 120 mile. He corrected it. Cameron said auto did 120 driverless truck mile delivery in 2016 back for Budweiser. And as far as I know, that was a controlled demo with the Colorado State Police. That I believe they closed off the highway for that. I might be wrong on that, but I don't remember ever seeing a car on that side of the highway during any of the videos that they released. So it was basically just a GPS guided truck.
Yeah.
For the most part, but
what can you do?
What else?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I mean, okay, so this hurricane, just to put a bow on that, like it's not gonna solve all the market's problems, like everyone's been saying.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. I mean, that's like the phrase is so funny. Everyone's like, I mean, there's no denying that natural disasters can be a huge stimulus for freight. I mean, I think carriers are probably licking their chops, and brokers to an extent too, probably.
Yeah.
The customers have just been beating everyone up for 3 years now.
That's approximately.
It's a very. I mean, I had been working at Echo for a year by the time Hurricane Harvey hit in 2017, and it was like the market before that was not very good. It's not as bad. I don't think it's as bad technically as it is now, but it wasn't good. And then just like one day, it was like all the rates like tripled. It was
Really?
crazy. Yeah.
Just in one day.
I mean, it felt like it. It felt like it right after the hurricane. I mean, I very distinctly remember having this Illinois to Texas load that I always ran with this one carrier, and every single week I'd give it to him without even asking the rate, and or without changing the rate, and then I just remember I was about to send it to him, and I was like, you know what, like, why don't I just call him and just see what's going on? Because I had a feeling that this hurricane thing, I just wasn't sure if he was going to want to go down there or what. And he was like, yeah, I'll go down there, but I'm going to need like 4,500. And I used to pay him like 24 or 25 or something like that. I was like, oh baby, let's go. and so it just causes lots of chaos because then then reps are having to call their customers and increase the rate. There's just lots of I mean, it's good. It was fun.
Yeah.
Obviously, the hurricane was very destructive, which I guess is the reason why so much freight needed to be moved down there. But it's one of those. I actually never did any FEMA loads that I know of. But those aren't the only loads that pay really well. Obviously, like
How do those work, by the way? Does the government like have logistics managers that they?
yeah, they have a whole program. They have a whole program. They work with I think they work primarily with like large asset carriers. So like the asset carriers have like dedicated capacity that they like commit to FEMA programs every year. And like I'm pretty sure they have to have stuff staged, but then there's I don't really know as much about how it works for brokers. I'm sure there's some sort of like program you get part of, and I don't know if there's a board or how the bids work or what, but
That'd be pretty interesting. I wonder. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good thing to like investigate. Like, does FEMA have a load board of their
I
own?
don't know, but apparently people say they basically write blank checks, but I don't know if that's true or not. But
Well,
yeah, it's
in the spirit of America, FEMA loads, or in spirit of Independence Day, I'm saying, we're in the, I guess, on the topic of government related type things. But there was also a House bill proposed for, this is up your alley. The House bill proposes 200 million boost for truck parking.
oh
Um,
yeah, I saw that.
that would be I don't know how that would get deployed or anything like that. But what you're now obviously, so you're chief marketing officer at Truck Parking Club.
Yep.
What's your thought on public governmental support for truck parking versus the private sector? Which do you think is? I mean, it might be a combination of both efforts to help alleviate some of the issue. Oops, sorry. Um, that should share the right.
Yeah, no, it is a combination. Um, New construction, obviously, if there's a shortage of something, you can either build more or you can find more, right? Or the demand can go down, but we don't think demand's going to go down anytime soon. And so yeah, I mean the construction is obviously a part of the solution. It's just a question of okay, how does it get through? How long does it take? How much does it cost? And what's delivered? Um, I mean, the projects are there's also a I can't remember the name of the bill, but there's like a $700 million bill or something like that that was stuck. It was stuck in Congress somewhere. I don't think it's been passed. I don't know if this is just part of the budget, right? So I don't think that this is necessarily. Um, I don't know what it's going to take for this to get passed. I honestly haven't done too much research because we're just kind of doing our own thing. This doesn't really affect us. We don't take any government money or anything like that. So
And how does
not
that
really.
look? How does I never really asked you about that, but how does that look for Truck Parking Club? Because I know that you guys are putting truck parking spaces that were previously never truck parking spaces on the map. And
Yeah, yeah.
how
Like,
so are you guys are going out and identifying just random plots of land and then fencing
well,
it?
no, they're mostly no. So they're mostly companies that either are trucking companies and they're already parking trucks like on their property. It's just their own. So we've got a lot of trucking companies who are property members. We've got towing companies. We've got self-storage companies. We've got repair shops. We've got truck washes. We've got folks who are already like truck parking operators, meaning they have a plot of land and they just have always had a sign on it that says, truck parking, call this number.
Sure.
So we've got, I mean, just real estate investors, all the above. Um,
It's pretty sweet.
I don't know. I mean, who knows what the total, like if you could just write like an ideal number of, or what the total number of kind of available quote unquote parking spaces there are out there that just don't exist on any map because nobody's really like done the work to lay the groundwork. I don't know how many it is. I would wager it's, tens of thousands, if not more.
Okay, so
Um,
the analogy here that the publicly available truck parking spaces are the hotels and truck parking club is the Airbnb.
yeah, I mean that is an analogy, sure. Yeah, I mean it's a marketplace. It's a very similar model. Um, we don't own or lease the property. There is no we don't set the prices. The property owner sets all the prices. They control the availability. They can turn it on or off whenever they want. So yeah, it's very, very similar to in the same way like an Uber driver is not committed to driving. You know what I mean? Like they can do it whenever they want.
That's pretty
Same
sweet.
sort of thing. Yeah. So I mean, so just to put a bow on the government thing, it's like it makes sense that the government should be um, investing in rest areas and all that sort of stuff, and that's great. And in our official stance as a company is that's like definitely part of the solution.
Hmm.
It just takes a long time and it costs a lot of money. So we think we have a unique solution because it doesn't really take any time and it doesn't really cost any money. Like if you're a trucking company and you hear about us today and you've got 20 extra spaces in your yard, you could have them online tomorrow or by the end of the day today, and there could
So,
be trucks there tomorrow.
so do I just go? Can I just go myself? Like if I had whatever 40 spaces open in my yard,
Mhm.
I can just go online, create a
Yeah.
profile, say where I am. How does
Yep.
that practice look like?
Yeah, I mean, it's literally just if you just go to our website, truckparkingclub.com, and hit become a property member in the top right, um, all the kind of frequently asked questions are there, and there's a couple of testimony videos and stuff like that. And then you can just hit get started, sign up, go through a short little onboarding process, and that's it.
That's
Yeah.
pretty sweet. Yeah, actually, let's take a look at this. I'm curious. So we have what free? Okay, so this is free parking here.
Yeah, so free that free parking toggle. So in select states in the Midwest, there was sensors installed at rest areas and some truck stops that show real-time availability of that free parking. So we consume that information, that data where it's available, but it's not nationwide, and it's not even everything in those regions, but it's publicly available, so we consume it. So we're always looking to consume more data related to free parking. It's very hit or miss. So that's what that is. But if you hit browse spaces right there, that'll take you to like right in the middle.
Your guys' headline should be like uh, post post your unused truck parking up for rent or something like that.
Yeah, the copy is it's
Because
hard to come up with like an elegant phrase.
because
Um,
no, I didn't know that you can actually post. Um, I didn't know. Okay, so for members, sign up, become a property member, just edit the location, just click become a property member, handle bookings. Okay, so it's pretty simple. And then for truckers, sign up, book a space, park.
yeah, I
Straightforward.
mean you can just go to just click on one of the icons on the map, and it'll just pull up a listing. Oh,
Okay.
so this is this new this one is about a month old or slightly less. It's a truck stop right there that has free parking, but they built a whole lot next to it that's like a drop lot or like you can park in there, but it's also a drop lot. You can see some drop trailers in there. Anyway, they have like a spa and like a gym and stuff
That's
in
pretty.
the in the travel center. It's an interesting one. It's definitely an interesting one.
Is that in here? Spa?
Um, the
Spa.
hot tub. We posted a video of it like 2 weeks ago. I don't think we have the hot tub amenity on
Oh,
there though.
it's right here. It's here. Hot tub.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Wow, I
But
didn't know.
go to a different one. This one's a bit non-traditional. So
All
you
right,
just like click on.
Missouri.
Yeah, so this is like a diesel repair shop, diesel service.
Okay.
Literally just
So basically,
uh
literally anybody who has spots like an industrial area
yeah, yeah.
that has spots for trucks to be parked can go in and post.
Yep. And then drivers can leave reviews. They can, yeah, I mean, leave reviews of the property. Property members can leave reviews of drivers, like just like Airbnb or Uber or something like that.
So what are
We're
these?
work.
What are these markers?
Those are the free rest stop spaces I was talking about.
Gotcha, gotcha. And
Yeah,
those are
yeah,
how many free spots they currently have? Like, is that a real time thing?
correct. Yeah,
That's pretty cool. Okay.
yeah. It's
Odd. Damn.
it's literally it's very limited data. We just, I mean, we've talked to a couple other states. Like we've talked to state groups about getting more of that. But I mean, dude, like, and this is just how government projects tend to work in general. And it's, you could say it's bad, you could say whatever. I'm not attaching a value judgment to it, but like, it just takes a while and it's expensive. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, we see just with regard to building more parking. I mean, some if you do the math on the cost, like the total cost and the total amount of spaces delivered, oftentimes it's like $100,000 to $200,000 a space.
We got a question from Cameron. Reed, what markets are you seeing the biggest need for truck parking? Looks like the East Coast has abundant availability.
Yeah, I mean the East Coast, the Northeast specifically is tends to be an area where it's difficult, close quarters, not a lot of excess real estate. We do have a decent amount of coverage up there. We don't have anything in Connecticut right now, but
Well, here,
um,
take a look at this. This might actually shed some light on this, but let's hold on, I'll pull up shippers here, and on the map you'll actually see that there's much more shippers on the East Coast than there are in like basically the mountain area here. This in general, there's
yeah.
obviously not going to be much land for you to ship goods in. So generally speaking, like if you overlay those two areas kind of like on top of each other, you'll see that it kind of matches up with what you probably might expect, right? So surely there can probably be some more density, maybe like around this area here, like in the and very very
I
west
mean,
coast.
what are we at today? 480 something. Let's look. I mean, we're 490. We're up to 490, and like I think we're really just scratching the surface. I
I think
mean,
so too.
our
I mean,
goal is 10,000, 10,000.
I think more
Um,
people need to know that they can post their spaces. Like I think I think just more people just need to know that, because I didn't know that up until I asked you. I didn't know how it worked, and I didn't know that you can actually like make, if you have free spaces, you can just become a property owner and make money from it, right? So especially in a down, I'd say in a down market, it's probably even more potentially lucrative. That's as a way to kind of offset some of your costs for your
well, I
property.
mean, the thing is if you've got a property in the right area, I mean, it can be very useful for drivers out there. And we don't just do like, oh, I need a place to park tonight. We do hourly, daily, weekly, monthly parking. So a lot of our um, a lot of our users are using us as like, oh, I'm going home and normally I'm parking, 50 miles away, and I found a spot that's like 10 miles away, and it's quiet, it's nice, it's a place I can drop my trailer and I can go home. Or I can leave my truck there and I can park my personal car there and I can just take my personal car home. Like, so and we have people using it as like a literal, like, I leave trailers here. It's like a trailer staging area. It's there's so many use cases. We probably haven't even thought of most of them.
Yeah.
What's this question here, huh? Many places, Tennessee. Yeah, I mean, to answer your question, it's like if you try to pull into a truck stop, in the afternoon, evening, um, they can be full, right? Even in states where you're like, oh man, there's no way, like it's not the Northeast, but like no, there's a lot of full truck stops out there, and there's truck stops going out of business too. I mean, it's. I was talking to Chris Thomas the other day, um, and he's kind of like the guide to cool niche truck stops, and he was kind of rattling off a handful that he knows that had closed, like mom and pop types. And so I
Sure.
googled it, and if you Google like truck stop closing, I mean, it's kind of crazy how many there are that have closed. And I know there's been a lot of consolidation amongst the large chains too. So it's it's interesting. But yeah, I mean, parking on.
There's a lot that can be done here. That's
What's
actually
that?
no. I mean, now I have a different perspective on this, and I mean, I was already bullish on the truck parking club to begin with, but now I actually am like totally starting to see. uh, I mean, nobody has. Has there been anybody that has attempted like a property ownership model?
Yeah, there's a couple companies out there. There's a couple like companies who have tried or are currently trying the marketplace model just like us.
Hmm.
I would say that we're the leader.
I mean, you're the only ones that I know about as of
Yeah,
right now.
and then there's a couple other companies who are using different models, like buying or managing property for owners and building like a more
Yeah, but it's not as
like they're trying. They're basically able to deliver a much more consistent product at each facility because they own and control it, right? All of our locations are different, so
yeah,
it's just a different model.
yeah.
He, I know Evan when he started the company, he, and we should have him on. We should have him on at some point so he can talk about it because he can tell the
Sure.
story better than I can. But I know when he started it, he was considering buying property because his background is in real estate,
Sure.
and he basically was trying to do a deal and thought the property was properly zoned, but the local municipality was basically like, no, you can't build truck parking. So he was like, is it really this hard to build this stuff? Like, is there this many barriers to adding new parking capacity? And just kind of looked around and decided that there was, and was like, well, hey, what about all this space that exists that could work, but there's just no way for people to know about it, right? It's
Yeah, I think I could easily see like as a second phase, going in and basically then adding kind of like a truck parking club owned like properties themselves, and where you can kind of control a specific experience, and that's kind of like a premium upgrade.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, Evan, he's always said we'll never own, and just
okay,
because you don't want to compete against your customers.
yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, I think we've got our hands full in doing what we're doing, and I think it's going to be, years, years before we're in a place where I think we're satisfied, quote unquote. Maybe we never are. Maybe there's always additional opportunity,
Yeah,
which is probably the case. So yeah, I mean, I think we're pretty well occupied doing what we're doing. I mean, it's it's pretty busy, man. We're growing fast. I mean, we're adding 2 to 3 properties a day. I'm drinking from the fire hose, trying to get the word out to the world in
very
a
nice.
consumable and digestible way. But dude,
Cool.
I think the more I think about it, I feel like we'll talk offline about some shipper CRM crossover stuff because I think there's probably a lot more than we've probably even thought of.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for for some time now. So yeah, let's talk about it more. But all right. Anyway, we're gonna cut this short today. Everybody's probably on vacation anyway. Maybe not people in freight, but next week we're gonna have a Desmond Clark. He's a former NFL Super Bowl uh, player that played for the Chicago Bears in I think '07, or with the Chicago Bears. Then when they went to the Super Bowl, I think it was in '07. He's now started a logistics company, brokerage, and we got the chance to meet him a couple times before. So we're gonna have him on next week, which is I think it's gonna be a fun discussion as well. So looking forward to that, and hope everybody has a good rest of the 4th of July weekend. If you took off, have a nice long weekend, and we will see you next week.
So later, bro.
See ya.